Hello, I'm Jessica Amir, a market analyst with Bell Direct. Joining us today is a small lithium company that's made big waves, Lake Resources. Their shares are up a massive 470% so far this year, as at the time of recording this. Steve Promnitz, the company's managing director, is with us now. Steve, thanks for coming in.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
So first up, Lake Resources has been one of the most purchased stocks across our platform this year. I'm also a shareholder, but for those that don't know your elevator pitch, tell us about that.
What's different about Lake is this. First of all, like other lithium companies, we're focused on that whole battery material supply chain, and that's growing. And we're looking at lithium growth in production of somewhere between 5 to 18 times over the next 10 years to deliver into that. So that's why all lithium stocks are up. Secondly, we're in the prime location for large lithium brine projects. It's in the heart of the lithium triangle. We've got one standalone project, 100% ours, which is a Kachi project, and then separately our Cauchari Olaroz, which is right next to the big boys, Orocobre, that's been in production for 5 years, and Gangfeng Lithium Americas, which will be in production this year. But 3 years ago, we went down the path of looking at direct extraction. Why would we do that? It's a more efficient way of producing lithium, a high quality lithium that the market wants, and doing that in a more environmentally sensitive way. And that's what really separates out Lake. It makes us completely different to anybody else, and we're almost uniquely positioned to deliver into the demand, particularly coming from the EU and the car makers that don't want to recreate the errors of fossil fuels in the past, but put materials into those batteries which are more sustainable and of a consistent high quality to avoid performance issues. Then with the lithium price has picked up just recently. We saw it come up about 10% November, December, and spot price went up 40% in China in January. So naturally all lithium stocks have picked up. We were fortunate to secure financing at that stage, and that's got us financed straight through to construction finance for the next 18 months. And so we can just get on and actually do things. This is the first time the company's been able to do it. So with our share price, we were basically playing catch up with our peers. Now we can get on and actually deliver the news and really grow the company.
And for current shareholders and potential new investors looking for catalysts to further drive the share price, what can we expect?
The first thing is that now that we have funding in place, thanks to the capital raising in January, we're funded straight through this next 18 months up to the round of construction financing. And we'll deliver a definitive feasibility study and other studies. Now that's great, that's very important for us to get the debt funding we need, but it doesn't really move the dial from a share price perspective. What is good though is that pretty soon we'll be able to announce who we're working with on debt financing. You need to start that a good 12 months before you need it so that we can actually put those in place. I've mentioned previously about export credit agencies, and this is great because it'll actually provide the substance, the debt to actually get this thing to construction. But the most exciting news will be what we'll be talking about, some of our partnerships. Our first partnership is with Novonix. Now they're taking our very high purity product that we announced in October 2020, they're putting it into batteries and cells and demonstrating it's going to work. They're not just good at what they do, they're actually the leaders. And Dr. Jeff Dahn, who set up the company, and then it was spun out of Dalhousie University in Canada, they called that Novonix NVX. He then went off to work with Tesla. He's come back just recently from Tesla. Tesla's extended their funding. So it's all about who you're working with. And we hope to be able to say more about some of our partnerships with downstream household names in electric vehicles and in battery makers. And this is a pretty exciting space.
Behind all of this, there's a push for electric vehicles for a cleaner world. Jag Land Rover will make only electric vehicles from 2025. Volvo will be making half of that by then. But what else can you tell us?
Well, the whole world is moving electric. Out of COVID, we've seen the EU really push with its stimulus to get more electric vehicles, more charging stations, more battery makers. Now with the Biden administration in the US, we're seeing that same trend. And I can tell you once the US gets behind this stuff, that's when we're really going to see takeoff. Heck, GM just came out the other day and said how they're going to make all of their vehicles electric. Who would have thought that, the great maker of gas guzzlers? So that demand for batteries means a demand for battery materials. The key ingredient is lithium, and we're actually well positioned to be able to scale up and meet that. That's what's driving the market at the moment.
And bring it back to the company, where will Lake Resources be in 2 years?
We'll already be in construction on our flagship project, Catchy. That's for 25,000 tonnes per annum. We'll probably be looking at ways to actually double that production. We'll most likely have one of our other projects like Kalchari and Olaroz be heading towards increased production. Why? Because all of that is scalable. But the real kicker that you're going to see is more relationships. We'll be able to actually come out and state who are some of the household names we're working with in the whole battery material supply chain, who are some of those electric vehicle makers. And why are we so confident that's going to happen? It's because they're the people who want and need this product, and we're almost uniquely positioned to be able to provide it. High quality, scale up consistently with an ESG benefit that everybody wants.
Wonderful. Steve Promnitz, Managing Director of Lake Resources, thanks so much for your time.
And thanks for the opportunity.
For more information, please head to Bell Direct's website.